Blob was startled awake by one of the communications officers. "Yes? What is it?" they said very lazily, clearly not happy with being woken up from their death nap. "Sir, there's a signal," said the young officer, their scaly skin shifting colours to display unrest. "Well, out with it. What kind of signal is it?" Blob demanded, as they pulled up the notification on one of the many monitors in front of them. "A distress signal, sir. Human." The instant Blob heard the words, his heart stopped, their breathing becoming silent. "Humans? Impossible. The humans wiped themselves out in a desperate attempt to fend off the encroaching Zanshul," they yelled. "Sir, the signal seems to be coming from a seemingly dead world, the third one in its solar system. According to our records, it was known as Terra Prima, by the ancient humans who once occupied it 2 billion galactic years ago," the young officer said. "It's probably just some leftover artifacts that somehow survived. Ignore it." Blob was clearly disinterested and wanted nothing more than to finish their routine patrol of the system and get home to rest. "Sir," the officer started, now more pressing, "this signal is too strong to be an accident. The linguist Blackboard is analysing the signal right now to decipher its meaning, but we're still waiting for—" The young officer was cut off by a chime coming from their handheld communications device. They picked it up and activated it, putting whoever is on the other end on loud. "Foreign Linguistics and Behavioural Analytical Officer Blackboard here. I've just finished decoding the signal. It took a while, as it seems it was encoded with something called Morse code, which could only be translated into English, a language that hasn't been used in over 1.8 billion standard galactic cycles. So it took a while to dig up the algorithms from LibCore," Blackboard says over the comms, seemingly excited. "Well, what does it say?" Blob yelled out again. "Sir, I don't know how to put it. It's asking us for help. Not just anyone. Us. It's repeating our own ship code right back to us with the letters SOS, which after a lot of digging came up as an ancient standard used by humans to signify distress." Blackboard sounded restless. The captain leaned back in their chair for a moment to think. Was this truly so? Was there really a signal coming from that desolate dead rock of a planet? But they could not help the growing excitement growing within them. "All hands, prepare for scouting, recognitions, and retrieval," Captain Blob yelled into the comms, with a tinge of excitement welling up inside themselves. As the crew of the small patrol corvette approached the third planet, all they could see was a dark, empty grey rock. But the signal persisted, and so did they. They passed through the intense radiation field surrounding the planet, leftovers from the Zanju War, surely. As the ship approached the surface, they hovered over the spot the signal was originating from. "According to our scans, this should be what was formerly known as Antarctica to the humans," said the navigations officer. "Good work. Maybe you'll earn yourself a name in due time. Now let's get looking. Anything on the scanners?" the captain yelled out. "No, sir. There's just dead grey rock everywhere," said one of the scout members. They were absent-mindedly kicking the rocks around when they suddenly collided with something surprisingly hard, almost like metal. The sound it made echoed through the empty landscape. Everyone immediately looked at the scout, who in turn looked down at their boot. Looking down to where their boot had collided with something, they noticed a protrusion. A small, featureless, round thing attached to a pole. A metal pole. As the scout kicked it again, harder this time, they could almost swear a sound was coming from the pole it was attached to. They leaned down next to it and listened. And listened. And listened. Eventually, the hearing aids in the suits calibrated and picked up the sound, and after translating it, the scout broadcasted to all staff members. "Warning. Cryo Array 1 primary power lost. Auxiliary power lost. Emergency nuclear reactor offline. Lack of fissionable material. Activating emergency protocol. Winter break. Activating communications dish. Error. Communications dish submerged. Pneumatics blocked. Unable to readjust dish. Override code 6774. Activating emergency signal override. Vessel found. Unable to recognize origins. Potential threat. Override 5567. Priority of Sleeping Beauty 1. Attempting contact. Error. Communications dish unable to receive data. Repeat. The crew members looked between themselves, confused and shocked at the message repeating before them. There was a functional structure on Earth, which was supposed to have been completely destroyed 2 billion cycles ago. Everyone looked to the captain, waiting for orders. Officers, scouts, according to subsection R, paragraph B, 32 of the Union Code for Unexpected Events and Emergency Situations, it clearly dictates any and all distress signals are to be investigated and handled thoroughly. It also states that if judged to be possible, a rescue attempt must be attempted within one standard galactic cycle, which means we have one cycle to dig down into the ground and find whoever or whatever is trapped down there. Sir, yes, sir, the scouts and officers answered in unison.